I'm here for the same reason that all of you are here, and that's because we want to see Scott Armstrong back in the House of Commons representing Cumberland-Colchester and bringing the type of principled representation and hard work that he's known for. But I think about the things that we're losing in Nova Scotia in the last 4 years. We went all in. Atlantic Canada went all in. All 32 seats went red. A big red tide. And a red tide, as we know, brings a lot of bad news for fishermen. Well, it brought a lot of bad news for Nova Scotia as well. Out of 32 members of Parliament in Atlantic Canada, we couldn't find one ECOA minister. We had to move the office to Brampton. I'll tell you who'd be a great ECOA minister. Your next member of Parliament, Scott Armstrong. And you know why I know that? Because when I was ECOA minister, he was at my door every day. He said, well, we have a couple of little projects around the agriculture school. There's a really big project we need at a wharf. Anyway, Scott Armstrong, I don't need to remind you, outworks, out-hustles, and brings great ideas to public life. Scott is an educator. Scott is somebody who relates well to young people. He understands the importance of a criminal justice system that protects people. He's a family man. He's a guy who gets it in the community, on the ground. And more important than that, so much what we've been hearing out of Ottawa is rhetoric instead of results. Yeah. Is drama. Can we just have a little less drama and get some things done in this country? Can we stop just talking about it endlessly? Yeah. Can we stop embarrassing our country on the international stage and dressing up like Mr. Dress Up? Yeah. I mean, my goodness, the decisions that have been made in Ottawa in the last 4 years are shocking. Just shocking. Shannon referenced the ethics. So, I mean, we can talk about policy, and we can talk about the importance of our fishery, our forestry, our armed forces, all kinds of big policy initiatives. And Andrew is going to have a very detailed costed platform. But let's just talk about ethics for a moment. The Prime Minister is lying to Canadians on a regular basis. Do you remember he stood in front of the whole country and said, that story about SNC-Lavalin in the Globe and Mail is false. Every word of it was true, and it was worse when the story broke. And you remember he was going to help women, and he was all about Aboriginal communities. Ask Jody Wilson-Raybould, an accomplished female Aboriginal lawyer, how much Justin Trudeau was helping. And they're fleeing his caucus. Did you notice? The rats are leaving the sinking ship. Right here in Atlantic Canada. Right here in Nova Scotia. 5. One of them, a one-termer, says, enough, I'm out. Both Shannon and Scott have talked about it. We need your help. This is a critical campaign. This is a campaign. This is a fight for Canada. Yeah. This is a fight for our children. Yeah. This is a fight for our grandchildren. Because we cannot afford 4 more years of this government. You remember Justin said, we're back. Canada's back. We're at the back of the room now, the back of the line, the back of mind for every other country on the planet who used to be able to rely on our country. I run into Americans and Australians and New Zealanders and they say, what is going on in Canada? What happened? What happened to your country? He called them out in New Brunswick, just like an old gunfighter. He said, you got to stop lying to Canadians. You know what the drama teacher said? It's a great day for Canada. Because Jerry Butts whispered that in his ear just before he left. So it's time. It's time to get serious. It's time to get back to business, back to the hard-working, honest people who just want to be able to turn it off and get on with their lives and know that there are competent people running the country. You're the absolute rock of this party. And we've seen a lot of people changing parties as part of it. Right? There's a lot of confusion, I think, sometimes between Liberals and NDPs. They're not sure whether they're fish or fowl. I'll tell you somebody who's not fraternic. Scott Armstrong. There's never been a doubt. His priorities are your priorities. Scott's priorities have always been his community, his country, and his party, and his family, of course, at the top of that list.